storyteller to open the show for us, Shanice Ndlovu.
Thank you, Ozzy. Thank you, Ozzy. Okay, so my name is Shanice Ndlovu. I am the author of The Pride of Nunle, which is a fantasy collection. Today, I'll be reading to you from A Harvest of the Diabolics, which is a novella that I have oncoming. It was deathly quiet, the silence itself a sound of its own and not the absence of it. The stairs led to a large hall of flickering flames, marking doors like candles without wax and without stand. The doors circled the hall. They were large and seemed a little too far apart from each other, so much so that I knew it to be a trick to make the doors seem many when there were just three. It's the red door in the middle. Knock 3 times and then walk in, said Moche, finally letting go of my hand and leaving me startled to find myself cold in the heart of God. I'll see you around, Cousin Dane. Moche turned and raced down the stairs as though a great evil were in her wake, as though she had not worked across the underworld hand in hand with Ayak Van. I laughed a little before I turned to knock on the door. I had long imagined what it would be like to meet my uncle again. I was not a boy anymore. My deeds were songs now, and they said he was the father of evil, but I was its lord. Had he heard these songs, I wondered? Would he ruffle my hair and say, "My, you've grown so tall, Dane Un," like nothing had changed? Yet I did know before I opened it and stepped inside that this was not his door. It was not he who had sent little Moche for me. There were many reasons for my certainty, but one of them was that Moche had never even seen her father in the flesh. There was not a trace of him on her scent or his shadow in her eyes. The room I stepped into, however, was flooded with Pamphire smell. On the rug, on the walls, inside the fires, even on the towering roof, but most especially on her. The woman, if I may call her that, sat on an easy chair facing the doorway, her very long limbs relaxed beneath her jet skin, slick with sweat. She wore red satin that hung down her chest, burying her naked stomach, the only thing red on her, I thought, but that was because her eyes were closed. She was angled forward and humming the song I had heard from Moche behind the fire, and she too swayed with her arms on her thighs, her hands drawing faint runes that smelled of smoke. Everything in the room was intoxicating, simply because she was in it. She opened her eyes and smiled at me, the ripe red of her irises catching the firelight in a shiver that made the flames shrink back. She knew exactly what she was doing. "Dane," she sighed, and I swallowed smoke. "It was you," I managed to say, surprised that I had to remind myself that I was too old to be winded by beauty, although she could not be called beautiful, not when she was so severe. She had the plain, sharp features of her siblings, but on her they seemed searing and ravenous. Her black mouth, like something I would cut myself on. The slicked back hair that was not red like the rest of her, but jet like her skin, making her a long, slick shadow that would melt into darkness if she were to ever close her eyes in the night. "My name is War," she said. "You meant for that, didn't you? To have your name sound like a moan," I said, stepping to her, and she leaned back slightly when she realized that I was not terrified. I understood. She looked as though she fed only on human hearts, so she expected a little reverence, even from me. I read on her face that she had heard of me, but even she had not heard enough to know that I only fed where everyone else fled. Thank you.